Welcome to the Equine Vet Connect podcast. I'm your host, Dan Carter. I'm a veterinarian and a farrier. The goal of this podcast is to educate horse people, break things down, bust myths, and keep it real. Speaking of breaking things down, here's my legal disclaimer to keep my attorney and insurance company happy. While I am a vet, I may not be your vet. Contact them before trying anything you hear on this podcast. Remember, just because you watched it on YouTube or heard it on a podcast does not mean you can do it. Please use common sense. Welcome back to the Equine Vet Connect podcast here at Countryside Equine Hospital. Got a guest in the studio today. You'll see we're filming a little bit of a different spot because our normal studio is out in the treatment room, but we're actually having to practice medicine out there this evening. So it kind of took precedence over the podcast. But we got Robin Brooks with the Southern Rodeo Company here with us today. How are you doing today, Mr. Robin?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
Oh, thanks for being here. It's going to be a kind of a cool show. When we started this podcast, one of the things we talked about is having different professionals from the industry on the podcast, and you are our first.
Wow.
So
I'm honored.
Yes, sir. So we're going to be talking about rodeo, but we're going to be talking about a different side of rodeo today, and we'll get into that. But first, I want to talk about you and Southern Rodeo Company, kind of how you got involved with the rodeo, and then how the Southern Rodeo Company came to be. For those listening, in the sport of rodeo, if you're unfamiliar, the people that put on the rodeo are called stock contractors. Y'all bring the bulls, the bucking horses, calves, steers.
Right.
You're the ones that bring the stock to the rodeo and actually play a huge role. I mean, y'all essentially put on the rodeo.
Right.
So Southern Rodeo Company is a stock contractor out of Georgia, but let's talk a little bit about how you became involved with rodeo and how Southern Rodeo Company came to be.
Okay. I guess it was 1978 or 79. I'd been out west working on ranches in Montana and Wyoming, and I'd been around a lot of guys that rodeoed. And so when I came back home, I thought, and I was already 22 or 3 years old, and I thought, well, I want to try that. And I had some friends that I knew that roped calves and team roped, and I knew I couldn't afford a calf horse, but I could afford a bareback rigging. Mm-hmm. So I decided to ride bareback horses.
I think that's probably the most physical sport in all of rodeo.
It is. It's hard on your body. Mm-hmm. So I entered the rodeo. I entered the PRCA rodeo in Marietta, Georgia. Was my first rodeo. Didn't know nothing.
I mean, that's just jumping straight into the big leagues.
Straight into the fire.
For those that you don't know, PRCA, that would kind of be like the MLB of rodeo.
Right.
This is the big time.
The NBA, NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I had some guys help me. Bucked off. I guess you'd say I got the needle all the way in because I was hooked. And later on that year, I had met a guy at that rodeo named Mike Duplessis. And he was a world champion in the IPRA, International Professional Rodeo Association, and had his PRCA card and put on a rodeo school. And he invited me to come. Taught me a lot. And from there, I just kept entering, met some guys that were riding around here and would travel with different people, made great friends. Mm-hmm. Loved it. Wasn't very good. I was hard to get on the ground, but never won a lot of money. It was pretty tough back then. Fast forward, I met a lot of nice people, loved rodeo. Mm-hmm. And just when I rode a bucking horses for about 8 or 10 years and just didn't want to leave rodeo. So I reinvented myself. A guy named Charlie Lowry that owns 4L Rodeo Company kind of took me in, mentored me for a judge, taught me how to pick up bucking horses. And so I went on from there. And all this time, I had a family. I had a business. I was in the grading business.
Okay.
And so we moved dirt, a lot of subdivision work, small commercial, that type. And in 2007, my son was kind of wanting to stay in the Western lifestyle. Josh had been trying to rodeo, and he had tore his knee up bulldogging. He'd made the high school national finals. He'd made the Shawnee World Finals in Shawnee, Oklahoma, but he tore his knee up one fall And so we were kind of searching for something for him to do, and we got to talking one day and decided let's buy some bulls. And at the time, I was picking up for Bubba Aubrey, Aubrey Rodeo Company, and he needed somebody to furnish bulls. So we loaded up, went to Texarkana to a bucking stock sale, and we bought a trailer load of bulls. And through that one trip, I made some great contacts. Wound up going back to Texas, buying some more bulls from one of the first guys that started in the breeding the bucking bulls, a guy named Jackie Ratchin. The next thing you know, we turned around, we had 25 bulls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was also got to be friends with a great man named Terry Walls. Walls Rodeo Company was a PRCA contractor, and he talked me into buying horses.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love bucking horses. I mean, they fuel me.
Mm-hmm.
And so Terry just kind of took me under his wing, and he sold me 4 mares to start with. And the next thing I knew, he called and told me he had me some more. I went back and picked up 6 or 8. Next time he called, he said, I got a trailer load's going to be sitting in Corinth, Mississippi at the sale barn. You need to go over and get them. I said, Mr. Terry, I don't have the money to pay for these things right now. He said, I don't care. You just pay me when you get it, son. And he said, if there's a good one on there that's too good for you, send him back. So this relationship went on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we were, with this rodeo company, that first year in 2007, we put on one rodeo.
One rodeo.
We had a card.
Mm-hmm.
We bought our card in the IPRA. We were working for Bubba, leasing stock. And we put on one rodeo. I thought it was good. It probably wasn't very good, but we got through it, and we just kept pushing and pushing. Next year, I think we had 3. Well, the thing about it, you had to have 5 first sanction rodeos in the IPRA to become get off probation to be a regular stock contractor. So we struggled for 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. The thing that kept the rodeo company going was that the word had got out on these good horses we were getting, the good bulls we had. So I had people calling wanting to lease them from us. So we were hauling to guys like Dennis Morris, Rafter M Rodeo Company, MC Merritt in Mississippi. We're hauling to him. There's a guy in South Carolina, Strawberry Pruitt, Double Creek Rodeo. I was hauling horses and bulls to him. So it was paying the bills.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still running the grading company. Well, in 2011, we'd gotten up to 4 rodeos. And there's a good friend of mine called that I had met here in Shadydale, Georgia. And he said, you want to bid this rodeo down there? And I said, I'd love to. So he said, I want you to come meet with them. Tell them what you can do and bid the rodeo. So it was Wes Chester. He was the chairman at the time. So I came down here, gave him a spiel. And the neat thing about the Shadydale Rodeo is I entered the very first one in the bareback riding.
The very first Shadydale Rodeo.
In 1983. It was in a pecan, right next to a bunch of pecan trees over there on the Bruce's farm.
Mm-hmm.
Shadydale Farms.
Shadydale Farms over there.
Right out there.
Yep.
And I got on a bucking horse there. And I came there a lot of years. And I told them at the end of the meeting, I said, look, I want this rodeo. And I said, I've rode here at the first one in bareback riding. I've judged it. I've picked up here. I've team roped here. I said, y'all might as well let me put it on.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. Well, I've had it ever since then. And it's just so much fun to come down here and put this rodeo on.
Well, I'm going to brag on you a little bit. If I remember correctly, that was the #1 IPRA rodeo last year.
It was the #1 IPRA rodeo in the United States and Canada, outdoor rodeo. And for years, I think ever since like 2014 or 13, they'd been in that top 5 group. And they'd get to walk across the stage, and they'd get a plaque said top 5. And so this past year, when they called them out as winning it, me and Josh, my son, and Josh Arnold was standing on that stage, and I thought, I looked at Josh Arnold and I said, we won. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
It was really good.
I got the text from Wade that night, and he let me know that it happened.
Oh, man,
and it
was a neat deal.
It was great.
Yeah, and Josh Arnold was so tickled. It was really, really good.
Well, if I remember correctly, I think you got another award last year too.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to win Stock Contractor of the Year, and that's 3 years in a row. We've been really blessed.
3 years.
Yeah, and
so 2007, one rodeo.
Yeah.
Fast forward 19 years later.
Yeah.
And you've been the number one IPRA stock contractor 3 years in a row.
Yes, sir.
So that kind of feeds into what I've always said. It only takes about 20 years to get to be an overnight success.
That's probably right. We learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it hasn't always been easy, but we've been blessed. That's for sure. God's really blessed our family.
Yes, sir.
And I guess 2019 was a big turnaround for us. We kind of regrouped and refocused. At the time, I'd got out of construction in 2011 and Josh was already working on a big cattle ranch, a registered Brangus operation. And so I went to work there. Mm-hmm. And we stayed there until 2022. And in 2022, because of some things that didn't work out, we decided to devote all our time to rodeo, and we've been blessed for it.
How many rodeos y'all put on a year now?
About 19.
19.
Yes.
So that's quite a bit in the rodeo world, because it's sort of a season down here for when you kind of start and finish up.
It is, but it's probably one of the best places in the world to rodeo, because it's usually not that far between the next rodeo if you're a contestant. Mm-hmm. And you're not having to drive 6 hours across Wyoming. But
I remember those days.
You might be 2 or 3 hours, and you can go to the next rodeo. And the springtime, we start earlier than anybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, and Florida's a good example. They have all the spring PRCA rodeos. Well, we have IPRA rodeos in the spring. It's too cold in Canada. They're not doing anything in Oklahoma. And up north in from the Midwest to the Eastern Seaboard, there's nobody rodeoing up there. So all those contestants come down here, and they'll stay till about June. Usually after Shady Dale, you won't see a lot of them guys till fall. Right. And so it's really a great place to be, to put on rodeos.
I remember rodeoing in college. You wanted to get in with the secretaries, cause especially when North Georgia was going strong.
Yeah.
If you pulled it off right, we could be the first ones in the perf, because usually they buck bulls beginning and end the rodeo back then, and we tried to talk the secretary and give us the perf at this one, and then we jump into slack in the next one, because there wasn't 2 hours between them, and you just burn a road up. So you could hit 2 on a Friday, 2 on a Saturday.
Yeah, you could go to 4 rodeos in a weekend.
Yeah, it was a great way to watch your money disappear, because I wasn't very good, so I figured I donated to a lot of cowboys back then. So, well, that's a pretty amazing story to start it. I mean, and starting, you said you were 22 years old. Was it 22 riding bucking horses?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And rode for 8 years into your 30s. So, for those that have never seen bareback riding, that's kind of a late start, and that's a pretty long career as far as age-wise riding bareback horses.
Yeah.
So that's a testament in itself. So let's talk a little bit about bucking horses. And you already mentioned it when you went out to a bucking stock sale. Mm-hmm. You know, back, it was kind of this way. Oh Lord, I hate to say it, that was almost 30 years ago, I guess, when I started riding. But, you know, a lot of the bulls, they'd go down to Florida, and I mean, they would just jump them up out of the brush down there.
We call them swamp monkeys.
That's it. And they'd bring them in. I remember there was a contractor, Bob Hacker, down there. He'd always call up the college.
Mr. Bob.
Yes, sir. And he called up the college and said, "Hey, we're having a jackpot this weekend. Come on down." It's because Bob made a trip to Florida and brought a bunch of bulls back, and we're gonna buck these things, and he's gonna figure out which ones he could sell and which ones need a few more trips and which ones weren't gonna make it. Kind of same thing with the bucking horses. I mean, they're just horses couldn't be rolled, or they're just horses.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about a world changing?
Oh yeah.
These bulls and the bucking horses, they've got pedigrees.
Right.
No different than a race horse, than a quarter horse. So let's talk a little bit about how that's changed. But I mean, these animals are bred to do this.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, when I started, you never knew what you was getting on, and most of them were soured saddle horses, horses that they just couldn't break, and they just weren't very good. The horses today are phenomenal, and it's all because of the genetics. It's like anything else. The genetics have been passed on, and they bred them like you breed racehorses. They take a good mama and a good daddy and breed them, and some of these bloodlines that we're using go back 30, 35 years or more. I guess one of the first guys in the industry that started was a guy named Ernest Took. And all those Took horses got spread all over the country. Harry Vole at Custer. How famous is Custer?
Oh, yeah.
His bloodlines are everywhere. And then you get, a little later on, you get a guy named Jim Zinsser with J-Bar J Rodeo Company. And then that's when you get into Night Jacket. Night Jacket had 17 of his prodigy were at the NFR this past year.
Wow.
17. That's crazy.
I mean, I'd love to know the statistics, like what that percentage is.
Yeah.
I mean, because I remember Harry Vole, because they used to do I guess they still do it, the Miles City Bucking Horse Sale.
Yes, sir.
And I can remember going up there, and that was an event like nothing I'd ever seen.
That's on my bucket list. I want to see that. I've never been.
I had a guy that lived next to me. Oh man, I cannot think of his last name. He was Bruce Ford's nephew, Heath Ford.
Oh yeah.
Heath Ford lived next to me in the dorms in college, and he said, "Dan, we're going up to the Miles City Bucking Horse Sale because depending on how well you rode, you got paid to ride." And he said, "You want to go?" I said, "Heck yeah, I want to go." So we drove half the night and part of the next day to get there, and that is an event to see.
Yeah, I've always heard it was. They just happened a couple of weeks ago. So that's cool.
But yeah, that's where a lot of people in the industry get together and they bring them. And I mean, they've got pedigree books. Like if you've ever been to a thoroughbred sale, you got a book of pedigrees. Yeah. There's a book of pedigrees. Right. I mean, this is not by happenstance.
No, it's not. And in today's rodeo world, you've got guys that aren't stock contractors that they may dabble in it, but they strictly raise bucking horses. Same thing with bucking bulls. You got guys out there that they'll may go to the bucking bull fraternities, but they don't haul every weekend to a rodeo. Right. These guys are breeding bulls to buck, and they're breeding horses to buck. You got Kenny Kling out of North Dakota, lives up on the Canada line, and the horses are bigger. They're bigger boned, they're stouter, and they can take it way more than what they could 30, 40 years ago. I mean, I've got a mare in my pasture that she's just a yard ornament now, but she is 26 years old, and she's just been retired a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and took her to the IFR 7 times.
Wow.
Yeah. But the money's changed too. I mean, used to, you go to the NFR now with an animal, and it pays you $11,000. Last time I checked, it may be more now. This is $11,000 to take an animal to the NFR.
Wow.
Plus trucking. They pay you trucking.
Right.
So it's worth spending all that time breeding and paying that big money. We watched a gelding sell last year at the IFR bucking stock sale, a 5-year-old gelding for $170,000.
I mean,
yeah,
that's incredible.
That's crazy.
So that has really changed. I'd say the last 30 years, it has just.
Yeah. Well, if you watch the Cowboy Channel at all, you can go back and watch those old archives of NFR. Watch those guys ride those horses and watch the horse. Don't watch the guys. Watch the horse. And then fast forward and watch the last 3 or 4 years, how much the horses have changed.
We saw that. We were watching the Pendleton Rodeo a few years ago, and they had some clips from way back in, grainy, late 80s, early 90s Pendleton Rodeo, and it was a different world. These horses today, they look like they buck cleaner. They are. They're definitely stronger. No doubt about it. And they're truly athletes, and I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. That bucking stock that's out in that arena, they're an athlete, no different than a jumper, a racehorse, a quarter horse. Yeah, they're true athletes, and love what they do. Oh yeah. These horses, they're bred to do it. They want to go do this.
We've got horses in our pasture that when you pull out we got a real long driveway. It's a quarter mile to the paved road. Mm-hmm. When you pull by the pasture fence going up the hill to hit the road, they'll chase that trailer. They
ready to go.
They are ready to go, and they are athletes. It's just, and they've all got personalities.
Oh yeah.
Some of them you can lead with a halter. Some of them are sweet. They'll come to the fence and you can pet on them, and then others,
it's all business.
All business. Yeah, I remember Ken Treadway used to haul he'd haul a set of paints. He could haul a whole set of paints in his bucking string for one rodeo. And there would be 6 or 8 of them tied to the trailer. And you'd be running around hunting your horse and go up and ask Ken and say, Ken, where's old Bar 57? He'd say, oh, son, he's over there tied to the trailer. And you're going, oh, no. And they bucked.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, it's... I love bucking horses. I love to see them perform. Mm-hmm. And they, what a great life. They work 8 seconds at a time. Most of the time, the way we take care of every stock contractor takes care of his stock.
Absolutely.
And horses usually just get bucked once a weekend. Mm-hmm. Then they're usually going to get a rest for at least a week. Mm-hmm. Usually it may be a month because this day and time, these contractors have learned you got to have enough horses to rotate and take care of your stock because that's what feeds us.
Well, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. And, these horses, they're taken care of just like any other horse.
Yeah.
There's no difference between a bucking horse and a cutting horse.
No, not to us.
You're out there, nutrition's important, vet care is important. What these horses need, it's going to get done.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions, if I could change anybody's mind about rodeo, is these are athletes.
Yeah.
They're taken care of like athletes. I think somebody was telling me the largest buyer of Adequan was it was a veterinarian in Texas that did a lot of work on bucking horses and bucking bulls.
How about that?
And these horses are on Adequan just like a show horse would be.
Yeah, you're always tweaking your feed, trying to make sure they're getting the most nutrition out of it. Mm-hmm. You make sure, we've got enough pastures where we rotate and keep them on grass. They get good hay. If something's hurt, we're gonna get them tended to. If they cut a leg or something in the pasture, we check them. We have them vaccinated every year. Coggins. And it's expensive to maintain a big herd of bucking horses.
Oh, I bet.
But it's just what you do. Mm-hmm. They become as much a member of the family as your saddle horses do.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I tell you, you were talking about personalities earlier. It's it's one of the funnest things when you're at the rodeo, and it's like when that horse has a good trip, the cowboy's jumping off it, he comes off on the pickup man, hits the ground, he's throwing his hat, and next thing you know, you look over and that bucking horse has got his head up in the air,
trotting around.
And that sucker's making a trip around. It's like his victory lap. Yep. He's like, I did what I was supposed to do.
That's right.
And it's always really cool to watch.
You can feel them. I can remember climbing down on them, and you can feel them shiver,
They're ready to go.
And they're ready to go.
Well, and that's another misconception you're talking about is, a lot of people think most of these bucking horses, they're stallions, things like that. But, you're talking about a string of mares, geldings. I mean, it's really anything.
Very, very few. I mean, some of your bigger guys out west will haul those big studs, but there's very few guys in this area that'll haul a stud because, for one, you got to have extra pin.
Right.
And so, your mares and your geldings are your lifeblood.
What's so when y'all are traveling, because I mean that's the thing, y'all picking up going to a rodeo, it's an ordeal. I mean, it's not like, how many days out do you start prepping, like as far as you're shipping stock, getting them hauled down, getting things set up? What does that look like?
Well, the logistics of putting on a rodeo can be quite demanding, I think. It's the craziest business I've ever been involved with.
Right.
So, we start months in advance when we know we have a new rodeo or Shady Dale. I'm hiring right now for next year because we use a lot of subcontractors. Our clown, our announcer, bullfighters, one of our pickup men, Josh picks up one side, my son, but the other side we hire all those guys. We've got a crew that goes with us all year long. So we're hiring right now. Well, the closer you get, you start lining up hotel rooms for everybody. You start planning out what day you're going to set up, making sure equipment's going to be there to unload the bucket chutes because we haul a portable arena. Excuse me. Out west, you got permanent pins everywhere. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
But not here. So we haul a WW portable arena with us wherever we go. Those guys, Josh and that arena crew, will usually leave on Monday.
Okay.
And Tuesday, they'll set up. If we got to have bleachers, the bleachers will come in on Wednesday and we'll set portable bleachers up. Here we came in on Tuesday at Shady Dale and they set up yesterday. Then the day before the road, Thursday's always a dress day. That's where we put up our signs, make sure the arena looks good, and the stock will be starting to come in. I came in this afternoon with the saddle horses for Shady Dale this weekend. So the bucking horses are on the way. They'll be in here this evening. The bulls are coming tonight, and the time event cattle. So there's, you got four trailer loads of stock. Well, really, you got 5 because we got so many contestants that timed event took 2 loads.
Wow.
So you got a whole bunch of steers and calves coming.
So all those ship in, and then that's when, I hate to say it, that's when the real work begins because you got to care for all that stock on the road. So it's not just shipping stock. You got the logistics of feeding.
Yeah, you got to have your feed lined up, and we haul our feed with us because we feed the same kind of feed. But our hay is we'll contact somebody we know, and after you've done the rodeo a few years, you create a relationship with those people, and you just call them and say, "Hey, we're coming. I need 60 bales of Bermuda hay," or I need. Like here, it's a big enough area for turn the bucking horses out. We'll have 5 or 6 round bales and make sure they keep, plenty of hay in front of them, feed the bucking horses twice a day, bulls once a day, keep good, clean water in front of them. So, yeah.
So, I mean, and that's the other thing people don't think about. You got to bring stuff to water cattle with, stuff to water bucking horses. I mean, you've got to ship in. If you think about it, you're almost shipping in a whole ranch to put on a rodeo.
Pretty much.
Because, I mean, how many head, let's say a rodeo like Shady Dale, I mean, how many head are you going to ship in to do this?
Well, you'll have about 30 bucking horses. And you'll have about 18 bulls, so that's 38. There'll be about 60 head of calves and steers. I brought 7 saddle horses in. There'll be 1, 2, 3. There'll be 5 more saddle horses come in. So you're right at 100 head.
So you moved 100 head.
Yep.
To put on a rodeo, and y'all pull that off in a day.
Well,
2 days.
Yeah.
I mean, that is. You think about the logistics behind that. I mean, that is.
Yeah. And then what makes it a little hairy is when you if we had one next week. Like in the fall when we start on Labor Day, we don't come back home until the 3rd week of November.
So y'all would pick up from one rodeo and ship to the next.
Yeah. Now I may go home and swap horses or something like that, or they may go to a home swap cattle. But that arena crew with the production, we have got a production trailer with all our shirts and box pads and everything in it. It doesn't come home. They just leave and go to the next one, and go to the next one, and then go to the next one. So our fall is real heavy, and that's when it gets tight and tough. And by the end of it, you figure out where you like it or not, or the whole family's mad at each other by the end of the year, but we get over it.
Sounds like good normal family business.
It is.
Normal family business,
and they're all involved, so it's really good.
So, like, kind of getting back to some of the stock here. What, like, I guess one of the things I've thought about is like, what is kind of the day or what does a year look like for most bucking horses? I mean, how many rodeos are they going to hit typically in a year? And
I would say that your top end, your really good horses, and again, this is all dependent on the animal. You don't want to push an animal till he's either so tired or that he's not performing at his best every time you buck him. Because your end goal is to get this animal to the finals.
Right.
We've been lucky enough the last 3 years to have the bucking horse, saddle bronc horse of the year every year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this past year at the International Professional Rodeo Finals, we had the bareback horse of the finals. So, the way we take care of our stock and the guys that take care of them, it shows and it produces good results. So you really have to take it animal per animal. I've got some really nice bucking horses that can be top of the line, but you can't buck them every 2 weeks. You got to maybe buck them 3 or 4 times a year, and that's it. And then the rest of the time, let them rest. Then we've got horses that are such athletes that every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, they can go back on the truck and go again.
So, I mean, they're working anywhere from 30 seconds to maybe 2 minutes a year.
Yeah, that's about it. They got it pretty good. If reincarnation is real, that's what I want to come back as, a bucking horse.
I was sitting there thinking about it. That's not a bad.
That's not a bad gig.
Not a bad job. Have every need.
Not near as bad as a pickup horse. He's working his tail off.
Well, I'll tell you, that's something people don't think about. That's another athlete that's out in that ring that. The pickup horses, for those of you who ever watched a rodeo, or even if you hadn't, bulls, you just come off. Gravity takes care of it for you.
Yep.
But bucking horses, you got the 2 guys that ride in, one pushing the horse and one getting the cowboy off. And the cowboy, if he climbs off the bucking horse onto the pickup horse and comes down the ground. And these are, like, if you watch, I encourage anybody, if you want to watch something, watch the pickup man and watch those pickup horses, because this is, I mean, it's borderline poetry out there.
It is. If you've got 2 good pickup men, you won't even notice what they're doing. They're so good. And as far as the pickup horses, that's probably the best broke, most rounded athlete in the arena, because he's got to run into a horse that's just bucking, throwing a fit, and that's against everything in a horse's nature is to run from that.
Right.
It's fight or flight with a horse. And, they just roll right in there, and you can pick a bronc rein up and then snub the bronc rein to your horn, and then you lean back and get the guy off, trip the flank, strip the billet, and take this horse out. Most of them are ready to come out. And then most of the time you're sitting out there in the bull riding, and if a bull don't leave, you got to rope him and drag him out.
Right.
Well, there's not many horses around that you're going to find that'll do that day in, day out. And they, you can watch those pickup horses. They'll pin their ears. They love it. And I've had really, really nice broke horses that I thought, well, this will make a nice pickup horse. And he would ride, and you'd get almost there, and he could side pass 30 feet. He's not going.
No, because like you said, it's against what a horse ought to do.
So it's just, it's just a certain few horses that make really good pickup horses. You cannot make them do it. They got to want to do it.
Well, saddle bronc is a little easier because you got a bronc rein you can reach over and grab. When you got a bareback horse, there's nothing on his head.
Yeah.
You're just going in.
Yeah, and you got to have you got to have some speed to pick some of them bareback horses up because some of them, want to run off. And,
Right.
and the worst thing you can do is chase a bucking horse. So you got to cut a corner and then be able to cut him off coming out of the corner. And you don't have anything to hold him, slow that horse down. So it's up to you to rate, make your horse rate. And the way I always taught guys to pick up is you ride just like you're going to grab that horse's mane and ride up where you can just reach out and touch the bucking horse's mane, and then you're in a position so that guy can get off. And then you're in a position to reach back, trip the flank. So, yeah, they're amazing animals.
And doing all that without any control over that bucking horse. Your horse just puts you there. And that's the thing. I mean, when you get in that position, you got to trust that horse because you got all the bubble gum you can chew dealing with the rider and tripping flanks. Telling the horse what to do is a whole different.
That's exactly right. But, I mean, if you got two good guys out there and watch them work together, because one of them will be getting the guy off and the other will be tripping the flank, stripping the billet. And I've seen them, like a horse going to cut away from a guy or a guy get off on him, he'd pitch the rein to the other guy and guy catch it. It's good to watch.
No, I probably watch that more than actually do the actual.
I like to see good pickup, man.
And it's always interesting. When you got a good pickup man, when that guy comes out of the chute, you already see those guys starting to get
in position.
They're getting in position. So the minute that buzzer blows, they're there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is.
And that a lot of that's got to do with you learn that over the years, but you've also got to have a sense of what those bucking horses do. Not necessarily the pattern they make, but just how a horse reacts. And if you understand horses, it makes the job a whole lot easier. But again, it's 80% horse.
Right.
The horse you're riding. It's 80% that, and then 20% of what you know. I was lucky enough when I started picking up, a good friend of mine, David Phipps, lent me a big black horse named Stormy. And he taught me more than anybody else could have ever taught me. I could probably send him in there.
Right.
And me just get in the stands and watch. He was that good.
I'll tell you bring up David Phipps' name. There's few people make legend status, but I think he made it.
You bet.
I mean, he
good
was
man,
one of the best.
good friend.
Yeah.
You bet.
But yeah, so if y'all get a chance to go to rodeo, watch the pickup, man.
Oh yeah.
Because if you start watching and paying attention, you will realize just what is going on.
Right.
I mean, it is truly something. So, and like you said, I mean, how many pickup horses you gonna take to put on a rodeo?
Yeah, well, like this weekend, each guy's have three
horses,
and you'll swap. You get 4 or 5 on each horse, and then we swap horses. Because that's a big old arena.
That's a big arena.
It is.
And I mean, it's all out. When you're going, it is all out.
Yep.
And the sheer athleticism, because I mean, I watched them go and hit a corner, and this horse peel back.
Yeah.
And the pickup horse is right there with them every step.
Yep.
Just lockstep.
It's
Don't miss.
Fun to watch.
Yes, sir. So, what looking at the care, we talked about it, and like what things that you wish the public really understood about the sport of rodeo, and what these horses, even the bucking stock. I mean, you hear a lot of things in the news, but I'd love to know, like, what would you like our listeners to know about the sport of rodeo and about the animals that make, I mean, we call them animals, but I mean, they're athletes in the arena.
Yeah. That's exactly what they are. That's the best way to describe them. They're just animal athletes. And too many times you get people that have they already think they know about, especially with animal rights people. Sometimes you just can't convince them. If they would take the time to, and we invite everybody to come behind the chutes.
Right.
We'll give you a lesson. We'll let you feel a flank. There's always a rumor going around we tie their genitals up to make them
I've heard that 100 times.
And it's a cotton flank. It's a cotton rope on a bull. It's a wool flank with a leather strap that goes around the horse, and it tickles them. And all it does is try to make them buck more consistently. If anybody knows anything about horses, if a horse is hurt bad, he's going to stall out. He's not going to do anything. And I just wish that everybody would take the time to get to know how much we appreciate these animals that God's blessed us with, and how much we try to take care of them, and what a big part of our family they are.
I've always called the flank more of an on-off switch.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an on-off switch.
It's like dropping a quarter at Walmart.
That's it.
That's all it is. And they're never pulled too tight. You pull a strap, a leather strap that tightens it up when they leave the chute. And anybody that's flanked very many horses, you want the least amount of flank in that horse as you can, because he's trying to kick it off.
Right.
And that's what makes him kick out instead of at his belly.
No, that's one of the things I talk to people a lot about. Is like, it's an on-off switch. And the one thing that I have seen in every discipline, you can't make a horse do anything.
No.
Anything a horse don't want to do, you can't make him. If you think you can, go try.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'll come by and watch.
Yeah,
because I want to see this. And I don't care what it is. I mean, I've seen some of the best bred cutters in the world that got no desire to cut.
Yep.
I've watched phenomenally bred race horses that everything says they ought to run, and they don't care anything about it. And it's no different rodeo stock.
Right.
They either want a buck or they don't.
No.
And like I said, those flanks, they're on off switches.
Yep.
And like I said, it's an athlete, and you start. I say, even on if you want to take the worst side of it and say, well, look at what you invested in these animals, you're going to take care of an investment.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you just look at strictly monetary, which, I think anybody in the rodeo business, Lord, if it was all about the money, we'd be doing something else.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'd still be in the grading business.
I mean, it's truly about the love of the animals.
It is.
Love
And
of
Western
sport.
lifestyle. It
Yes.
is. There's nothing better. There's lots of evening, me and my wife on our place in Rockmart, Georgia, we'll get on side by side and go across the creek to the very back pasture where the bucking horses stay. And, we'll just go back there and sit and look at them. Check on them. We call it checking on them, but we'll just sit back there and talk and watch them eat.
I think one of the best sounds in the world. Like I sometimes I'm on call and you're out there late at night at a barn and it's all quiet. And when you just listening to horses eat, I don't know what it is. It's one of the most peaceful sounds in the world to me.
It really is.
Maybe that's what I need for white noise to help me sleep at night, just out hear horses eat. So, well, is there anything else you'd love for our listeners to know about the sport of rodeo? And I mean, to me, it's one of the. It might be more American than baseball, to me. Like I love baseball.
I think these days it is, because there's nowhere else you can go that is good, clean family entertainment. That's what at Southern Rodeo. That's one thing we pride.
Yes.
And we're going to open with a prayer.
Yes, sir.
Then we're going to stand and have somebody sing the national anthem. And it's going to be good, clean fun and good, clean competition all the way through it. And these guys that come compete are not on a salary.
No.
They get what they win. If they don't win, they go home broke. And so they pay their gas money and their entry fees and their horse feed if they're ropers, buy equipment to come compete, and they try to win what they can. And it's Americana. And I think more people are trying to get back to that type of lifestyle, a slower, more down-home type lifestyle.
That's one thing I can say about rodeo is, one of my favorite things has always been you open with a prayer.
Yeah.
And that's been every rodeo I've ever been to. You open with a prayer, and there won't be a person standing or sitting down for that national anthem. No. And I'll be honest, one of my favorite things is right there at the end of it when the horses come in and just flying flags. I mean, it's just the place goes crazy.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's still, some of those openings that David Sharp is our announcer, and he comes up with a lot of great openings, and he can still get me misty-eyed at some of them openings.
I was trying not to say that, but I get the same way.
It's pretty cool.
I mean,
especially when the sun's going down. It's pretty special.
You can feel it.
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you, one of my other favorite things that y'all do is I love at the end when y'all turn the horses out in the arena and watching them run around. I mean, because I'm a horse guy, obviously. Yeah. And when you hear the thundering of those hooves, it some of my favorite times living out west is we had these big herds of horses or Bermudas. We'd have to go bring them in.
Gather them.
And there was nothing better than when you're moving out and you got 100 horses running. I mean, you're hearing 400 feet just pound the ground, echoing off canyons, hearing the sound. And some of the best times of my life was bringing those horses in and just seeing that. And when y'all turn those horses out at the end of the rodeo, man, I told my wife, I said, I hope I never forget those memories. And your rodeo brings them back every time.
That's good.
I get about as misty out of that as I do the national anthem.
Well, and that's something that here in the East is pretty special, because whether as a stock contractor, whether we want to admit it or not, we're in the entertainment business.
Right.
It's still a competition. Mm-hmm. But a lot of those, you get out west, and those guys know who's rodeo and who's getting on a bull, who's getting on a bronc. A lot of these people that come to our rodeos, they don't know. Mm-hmm. Some of them have never been to a rodeo.
Right.
So they've got a chance to see some of the skills that came from the old ranches back in the 1880s,
right,
when rodeo first started. And it became, it was a necessity out on the range to doctor cattle. You had to rope, or you had to break a horse, you had to ride a bucking horse. Mm-hmm. And that's where rodeo came from. So that's the experience we want people to have, but we still want to entertain them with good, clean family fun. Mm-hmm. And another thing we try to do at the end of the rodeo, when we turn the horses out, we bring the flag girls in, the pickup men, the announcer's horseback. We want to get them over to the edge of the fence and let people talk to them. Mm-hmm. Let the kids touch a horse, because that's one thing I learned a long time ago as a contestant. Kids would come up and they'd never been around a horse, never seen a cowboy. And it's a good chance for us to be ambassadors of the sport and the Western lifestyle. Mm-hmm.
It's always amazing when you watch the kids' eyes light up.
Oh yeah,
and, sometimes the first time touching a horse, and I always look over and see that, and I was like, oh, they don't know it, but they just. You watch those little girls come up and touch a horse for the first time. You see it in their eyes, and you're like, oh, Dad. Oh, yeah. You better go ahead and get ready, because that one's got the bug already. Yep. And it's it's definitely it is definitely a sport that hasn't changed, but hasn't changed in a good way.
Yeah.
And that's, and you talk about how they used to doctor cattle that way. I mean, they're still doing it today.
Yeah, we did a lot of it at the ranch we worked on.
I mean, I've been out, working for those associations. We'd be in the mountains, and you a 2-day ride from anywhere, so there was no bringing them to the pens. You had to do it out there.
Yeah,
and we did the same way you see in the rodeo. So it's truly a special thing.
It is.
So,
and it's a good lifestyle with a lot of good people. Mm-hmm. I've made friends, and some of them are like family. And I might go 6 months without talking to them. Mm-hmm. And I always joke around with people and say, every state I go in, when I cross that state line, I think, all right, when I break down, who am I going to call?
That's it.
And I know somebody in every state.
We were talking about this earlier before we filmed. One of my dear friends, Jeff Morton, I pulled his bareback rigging at a rodeo.
Yeah.
And he pulled my bull rope for me. And we met that day, and I never, if you'd have told me 30 years later we'd be living 15 minutes down the road from each other and still been lifelong friends, I'd have told you he's crazy.
Yeah.
But, I always joke, we did it all together, rodeo together. I shouldn't admit this, but we flunked out of college together and ended up being horseshoers. And then now we're living right down the road from each other. So it's the people you meet in the sport, they're truly
people.
Fantastic
people that you can depend on.
Yes. So, well, Mr. Robin, thanks for being here today. We really appreciate you coming in, and thank you for all you do for the sport of rodeo. And I know y'all got a lot going with Shady Dale coming up, and
I want everybody to come out and see Shady Dale.
Absolutely,
that's a special place.
I'm telling you, that is It used to be said, I don't know if it still is, but it's two kinds of cowboys: those that have been to Shady Dales and those that want to.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, 40 years ago, you said in 1983, who'd have thought that Shady Dale, and some of our listeners, you may be wondering where Shady Dale is. Good luck finding it on the map. It's a crossroad.
Four-way stop. Yep.
4-way stop. But
it's kind of like Dodge City on Saturday night.
That's it.
It's pretty western.
So, well, thank you for all you do. We really appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having me. I sure enjoyed spending time with y'all.
Absolutely. April, thanks for making all this possible. Thanks, Casey, for doing all the editing, and all our listeners out there. We really appreciate y'all tuning in. And if y'all got any ideas for any podcasts, send them in. We're happy to do it. And hope y'all have a great week. And from all of us here at Countryside Equine Hospital, thank y'all.